Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Moments with Charles LaMont. On this platform, we're going to be talking to some of my family members and some of my friends and associates within and outside of the music industry. So we're going to have candid conversations about who they are versus what they do. If you dig what you watch, please like and subscribe. Let's go.
This episode is brought to you today by Mentone and Sproul. Everything fresh.
And tonight, we got my brother, Mr. Gene.
My brother from another mother.
Right. Hello from the UK. So you're my boy, and I know you. We friends. We talk all the time. But tell the people who you are.
Gene Moore is a country boy that lives in Houston, Texas, with the heart of pure gold. What up, Pastor Mike? I see you, man.
Pastor Mike, what up, bro?
I'm a husband. I am a friend. I am an artist, and I am a humanitarian. A lot of people don't know that side of me, but I really like to give. I like to do a lot of charitable work. I like to do a lot of things that build the community. I just like to bless people, man. And I don't do it for any kind of pretentious reasons, man. It's just part of who I am. And I always told the Lord, I said, if you ever bless me with $1 million, man, I would do so much good with that kind of money, because that's just another side of me. Yeah, man. But other than that, that's it, man. What you see is what you get. I'm one of the most down home people that you'll ever meet. Just, don't cross me. But I'm one of the most
I'm true country boy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Don't cross me, man. Yo, don't let the smile fool you, bro. Yeah, man. I got a little hood in me, man. So
ain't nothing wrong with it, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
But I mean that's who I am, man.
Word.
Yeah.
So when we met, man, when we first met, we met in 2015. You came on tour with us with India. And that was a special Christmas tour. It was you were on vocals, Aaron Lindsay was on keys, Darryl Freeman, Blue, rest in peace, was on guitar. That's our boy, man. We lost him back in August of 2018. But that was our boy in India, of course. And man, and since then, it's just like, for me, it was an instant friendship, an instant brotherhood, an instant, you know what I mean? We was talking, just shooting stuff off of each other. And, you was pushing me to like do my best, as far as singing and all that kind of stuff. And, coming from you being the beast that you are, and everybody, he's being super humble about what he's doing. He's just a humble dude. You know what I mean? He's a humble dude. He ain't a pushover. He's a humble dude. I heard somebody refer to humble as being pushover or something. I don't know, but anyway, he a humble dude,
soft,
and that's what they think, but that's not what it is. Like you said, don't let the smile fool you. Don't let the smile fool you. But man, a humble guy, and I appreciate you, man. I appreciate our friendship thus far, man. Bro, like you're just a good dude. We took each other in as brothers, and I'm happy, man. And I don't even take for granted, being that we've been friends for so long, that you even took out the time to be here, you know what I mean? And to support this platform, you know what I mean? And come on and talk with me for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So absolutely. I appreciate that, man. Give me a little bit of your career background, like for the people that don't know who you are, like who have you sung with? What are you doing musically right now? All that good stuff. What label are you signed to? I think I mentioned it, but like you can talk about that experience with the label as well, as much as you want.
Okay, real quick. What up to Maya the Fire?
Maya the Fire.
What up to Julius J Smooth?
Easy.
Also my big bro from Houston, not my blood big bro, but my big bro as in like he literally like watched me grow. That's Pastor Cool Williams.
Yo.
Yeah, say what up, Cool. To get to your point, man. It was really funny. I kind of got drafted in music. Like music, it was a hobby. It wasn't anything that I was pursuing as a career. So, like when I was in college, I would always sing in the talent shows and everything. But I went to college with the intention of getting my degree in radio, television, and film. because my degree was in radio and television, and my minor was in advertising. So after graduation, you know, my intention was to either go work for some big radio station or either to be a news anchor. Wasn't thinking about singing. You know, I did it for fun, you know, but it wasn't anything that I was considering as a career. And I'll never forget my very first professional singing job was when I was still in college with Kim Burrell. And Kim Burrell heard me sing at an event. And so, you know, she just came up to me in typical Kim Burrell fashion and, oh, baby, oh, honey, I just have to get your phone number. I just have to get your contact, honey. I just do this. So I gave her my information, and she started taking me on the road with her. And then from Kim Burrell, it went on to doing some spot dates with Israel Houghton, and that actually happened through Aaron Lindsay. I became friends with Aaron Lindsay, so I started doing spot dates with Israel Houghton. But I'll tell you, the longest gig I had as a professional background singer was when I was out with Kirk Franklin. So here's the funny story about Kirk, and Uncle Jesse, you know, he's on here. He can attest to this. Excuse me. So it was at the time when Isaac Carree was doing his first solo album, and he couldn't make a lot of the dates, and so they were looking for somebody to step in as a substitute. And so they said, well, you know, because I had friends in the group, man. I knew Anisha, Figaro, and Figaro Cooper. I'm sorry, man.
Figaro Cooper.
Figaro Cooper and Nikki Ross, and I knew Isaac, and you know, so you know, a lot of people were like, well, why don't you just bring in Gene just to come and fill in and do some dates? And so I started doing dates. And it turns out that Isaac's career really started to take off because that was the summer that In the Middle came out. So In the Middle was a big song around that time. So he couldn't make a lot of the dates. And so what started out as what was supposed to be a 2 or 3 gig thing turned out to be a 7-year thing, man. I was an alternate singing with Kirk for 7 years, man.
Whoa. I didn't know it was that long, bro.
Yeah, 7 years, man. Yeah.
Wow.
So man, God has been good, and like in between singing with Kirk, that's when I met India, and through India, that's when I became cool with you and became cool with Daryl Freeman. And so then I began to develop that relationship with India as well. So even after the Kirk era ended for me, I started going out, as you already know, with India and doing dates with India while still trying to juggle a solo career. So you know that brings me to who I'm signed with. I signed with Motown Gospel in the year 2013. But check this out, man. They had me on the shelf for about 3 years. Now, I don't say that to disparage the label at all, but they had me on the shelf for like 3 years.
What does that mean for people that's not in the music industry? Like, what does being on the shelf mean?
It means you're on hold, you're on pause, you know, you're not out for display yet, man. You know, we got to put you back on the cabinet, on the shelf, you know what I mean? You just got to sit there and you got to wait. So
bring you and dust you off later.
Yeah, y'all can dust me off later, you know, but in the meantime, I just got to sit here and collect all this dust, you know?
Right.
So I was on the shelf. A lot of that was a result of some business transitions that happened. And so I was there for about 3 years before my first solo record came out, and that was around the time when Monica Coates and EJ Gaines came to the label, and they were like, all right, this guy, you know, he's been sitting on the label for a minute, let's just go ahead and let's go on and put him out. And so they put my first record out in 2017. Christy Starling, yo, man, y'all forgive me for calling all these people out.
It's all good
to see my friends. My friend Christy Starling, yo, you need to get her on your show, dog. She is phenomenal, man. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, so
Chris,
where was I, man? I forgot. I was saying
you said EJ and Monica wanted to push you out.
Yeah. So EJ and Monica, they put the first record out, which was entitled The Future. It came out in 2017. I earned my first Stellar Award nomination off of that record, and then 2 years later, I released my sophomore record, which is currently the record that's still out, even though it's an old record now, but it's, you know, the only record still out now. With my name on it. It's called Tunnel Vision. Tunnel Vision earned me my first Grammy nomination and my first Dove Award nomination. So now, and I don't know, I may be talking a little ahead of myself, but now I'm in preparation of putting out some more music, but I can't release too much information about that because I'm, you know, still under contract with the label. So
word up, Doobie, what's up, man?
Doobie Powell. What's up, Doobie? Man, hey, bro, you getting all the good folks on here tonight.
Nah, they coming on because of you, bro. Like nobody. I mean, it's not many followers on here yet, but it's all good. You know what I mean? We just starting.
Yeah.
But
Mark
Doobie came
what up,
on
Mark?
last week when Neely was on here.
Dope.
But again, that was because Neely was on here. You know. Doobie, that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? I just know that this is new. You know what I mean? So it's not a whole lot of people following, but it's all good. It'll grow when it's time to grow. It'll grow. It's all good.
Gotta start somewhere. Yeah,
it got to start somewhere, man. I mean, but it's all good. Like again, I appreciate you being on. I appreciate Doobie being on here. You know what I mean? Like that's people's. You know what I mean? I met him I met him a while back. But getting a chance to really connect with him, it was because of you when we was on tour in 2019, and we was hanging out and just kicking it and with his brothers and everything. Like we just formed this whole new relationship, which is dope. And Doobie Powell, if anybody on here who don't know who Doobie Powell is, bro, y'all need to follow him and listen to everything he's done and everything he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude. Yeah, he's one of the best, man. I know this is about this moment, but Doobie, man, just for a second, bro, you got me through some hard times, bro, with some of your music, man. Yeah, but that's we'll talk about that another time, hopefully. Hopefully on the show.
My boy Mark Hubbard, man, from Chicago.
Oh wow.
Sits with the Grammy board in Chicago. Mark, what up, man?
Wow. I know who Mark Hubbard is. I just don't know him personally, but yeah, that's what's up. But yeah, man. But so you said your first album came out in 2017, and you got signed when you in 2013. So you sat for 4 years. Yeah. Before your record came out. Give me because this platform is more so about stuff that happens like in between time. You know what I mean? Like what you're doing when things don't look too good. When it's like, okay, I'm signed to Motown, dog. You know what I mean? Like that's huge. You know what I'm saying? That's huge to be on Motown, but then it's like, yo, I'm signed to Motown, but 4 years go by before a record comes out. Like, what was that like? Like, what was that period of time like? How did that feel? How did you cope in that whole era? All
right. Now, Charles, you brought me on this show, right?
Yeah,
you brought me on this show, right?
Keep it 100, please.
So I'm gonna keep it 100.
Yes, sir.
I was frustrated, man. I was frustrated. I was discouraged. I think it's even safe to say I was a little pissed off. But it was what it was, and I had to just man up, and I had to do what I had to do in the meantime. So what I did in the meantime? I got a job, dog. I got a job. I even had somebody say, man, well, you a singer, man, you ain't supposed to be working. Look, man, one thing about me, I ain't never been scared of no work, period. And I'm not going to lay around and just wait for some pie to fall out of the sky. You know what I mean? Listen, a man don't work, he don't eat. I believe in hard work. Even if it's as much as just going out and driving Uber or Lyft or doing whatever you have to do, man, just be a man, get out of the house and just make your money. So that's what I did. I worked, man. I was driving buses. I was driving not the metro buses. I was driving, the 15 passenger, buses. And man, I started working for a limo company. I was driving town cars, limos, man. I was doing all of that. But here's the thing that I learned, bro. And I know this may sound crazy, but this is what God showed me. While I was doing that, serving other people, I was learning about service. I was learning how to be humble. Listen, man, I'm getting out of the car. Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir. What can I do for you today? Do you need me to do this for you? Is the air too high? Is the radio up too high? Let me get the door for you. Servanthood, humility. So it was like, even in the midst of that valley season in my life, through that job, God was showing me the key to success, which is to be humble. The Bible says if you humble yourself, God will exalt you. So, he was teaching me, just about humility and about hard work. And then when it was the right time, it manifested. Now I wouldn't go as far as saying, that I sold as many records as the the top A-list artists that we see now on television, but it was enough for me to make a living. And it was enough for me to get my name out enough so that I was able to work. But, you know, the moral to the story, Charles, is that God saw my faithfulness, you know, and I don't say that to sound cocky or anything, but listen, those are just principles. God saw my faithfulness, my willing to humble myself and serve. And because of that, he opened that door, man. And, you know, that's what I tell anybody, whether you're an artist, whether you anything, man, whatever you're trying to be, the key, the prerequisite to success is you have to learn how to be humble and learn how to serve. Period.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so that's
sir.
what I did. Yeah.
Woo. Service will get you into and out of things that you could never imagine, man.
Oh,
you know
Lord,
what I mean? Come on now. Oh, did you just tune up on me right quick?
Oh,
you about to bring my Baptist out, right? And God said, but yeah, man, that's super dope, man. That you got that lesson, because there are a lot of people that try to figure it out, man, and try to bank on who they know and try to bank on their talent even. You know what I mean? Because you got some of the dopest, talented people in the world, bro, that, you know what I mean? That they will never be heard of. They will never receive a platform because God is like, not yet. Because you're already here. So if I put you there, then you're going to, you know what I mean? It's just going to be too much at that time. And God loves us that much that he doesn't want us to self-destruct. So that's a beautiful thing when he humbles you, bro.
Well, so, you know, now we can kind of tapped into something. So now the preacher, see, and when you were asking me to introduce myself, I didn't say this too. I preach a little bit, man.
Come on, Deacon. Come on.
You know, it reminds me of when, and we're going to the Bible now. It reminds me of when the sons of Zebedee went to Jesus and said, who can be the greatest? Now I'm paraphrasing right now. Who can be the greatest? And he said, any of you that desires to be great, you have to what? Serve. So service, humility is the key, man. That is the prerequisite for success. Now, you have people who have acquired success, you know, doing things their way, or maybe not the most integral way, but always remember that the stability of the house depends on the foundation.
Yes, sir.
If the foundation is wobbly, the house will not stand. Yeah, you may think you're winning for a little bit, but if that foundation ain't right, if it's not built right, if it's not done right, it's not gonna stand, man. So just remember,
never stand. It'll never stand. You can't build a mansion on sand.
Exactly.
So like, wow, that's, man, bro. So I'm gonna try to get into some of these questions. I love the way we're flowing right now, and I don't want to like break that. Because I really believe that somebody on here need to hear this. You know what I mean? I need to hear it. You know what I mean? I don't care what it is I've done or doing or whatever. Like, we always need that reminder that humility and servanthood is the way. Period. You know what I mean? And most people that are gifted in some kind of way, that really love people, they all love to serve outside of music. So I guess this would lead me into one of my questions. Like, what inspires you most unrelated to the music industry?
What inspires me most unrelated to the music industry? I don't mean to sound redundant, but I used to watch those Oprah specials when she would give homes away and cars away. When I see philanthropy work, when I see humanitarian work, man, that inspires me, man. I would choose that in a heartbeat, bro. Real talk.
Wow.
Yeah, everything, and this is just me, man. Everything is not always about the dollar for me, because I know that when I plant those seeds, I know that I'm going to get a reward some kind of way.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes God has brought it back to me monetarily, and then it's been other times where God has brought it back to me by way of opportunities or other things like that. And I'm not saying that I do things with the expectation of always expecting something in return, but I'm just speaking on the benefit of doing something from a pure place. That's it.
Sir.
You know?
Yes, sir. Yes,
non-pretentious. Just do it from a pure place, man. I mean, I often say it like this, man. You can't always get everybody to come to church, but they can see the Christ through you, man. Depending on no matter where you are, no matter where you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, when we were on tour, when we were on the last tour
I
with
know where
India,
you're going, man. I know where you're going. I know.
when
I
we
know
were
where
on
you're
the
about to
last
go.
tour with India,
Oh
right?
man.
You opened
Yeah.
up. You opened up for India, right? On quite a
Yeah.
few shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's an India Irie tour, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
She has her audience.
Yeah.
However,
Mm.
the Christ that you carry that's with you shine
Yeah.
through. And
Mm.
so how did that make you feel like, or what did God say to you in those moments, like after coming out off of the stage and
Yeah.
being like, wow, and getting such a great response? And it was more than just the fact that you can sing, bro. It was more than that. It was more than you get out there and you sing from a pure place.
Mm.
They felt the Christ in you, I
Mm.
believe. So
Mm.
what did God say to you about that? Like, what did he reveal to you in those moments?
He revealed to me that my power is not just contained to a building. He revealed to me, man, take this gift that I gave you and let me shine through you. Don't worry, don't worry about what's gonna come out. Just stand flat footed and just let me do the rest. Period. Now, of course, in those kind of settings, you can't approach that audience the way you would a Sunday morning service. Now, come on, everybody, pull out your Bible and lift your hands. Come on, lift your hands and give them glory. You can't approach them like that. But he just reminded me, man, stand flat footed and just let the light shine. That's what he showed me, man. At first I thought you were going to talk about that moment in Houston. You remember that moment in Houston, and we opened up. Maya remembers, and I don't know. Julius may remember.
Help us out,
right?
Maya and Julie.
Do you remember when we opened up in Houston with "I Am Light"? And it was that rare moment when India just couldn't even finish singing, and she had told me, "Just finish the song." And then before you know it, do you remember the entire arena ended up, it shifted.
They went up.
It went up, man. If you don't remember, man, I'm gonna send you that video.
No. Please send me a video. I
Yeah,
vaguely remember because
yeah.
Houston was close to the end of the first leg of the tour, right?
Right.
And that was that venue that was a little outside of Houston, in that city.
It was in Sugarland. It was called the Sugarland Smart Financial Center, and that was when I bootleg shouted on stage, man.
Okay, I remember now. I got it. Okay, I remember.
Yeah. But getting back to getting back to what I was saying. Yeah, but getting back to what I was saying, man. Listen, God's gonna get His glory regardless. He's gonna get His glory. So all we have to do is just yield and be recipients of that, and then just bless the people. Let Him working through us bless the people and draw people closer to Christ. And that's what He showed me, man.
Wow. So it seemed like, and I'm gonna shift gears a little bit. It seemed like we're getting back to a place of normalcy, as everybody's saying. That's the word everybody's throwing out. So I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna ask you a question. My fear is that people are gonna get back into their normal routines. And they're gonna forget all about what happened. They're gonna forget all about the lessons they learned. They're going to forget about some of the things God even told them in those moments, because it's slowly getting back to this hustle thing that's starting to happen now. People like kind of feeling like they have to make up for whatever it was they lost in 2020. So what did the pandemic reveal to you? Like what part of you that you were unaware of that the pandemic brought to your attention, if there's anything?
Creativity.
In
I
which
had to
way?
be, I had to, focus my energy more on writing, um, creative things to do with my wife,
Mm-hmm.
because we couldn't go out on a regular date. At that
Mm-hmm.
time, at that time, restaurants weren't even open at a 30%. Everybody
Right.
was stuck in the house, so
Mm-hmm.
it made me more creative in my marriage. It made me more creative musically, and it definitely pulled out the hustle in me.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, man. I was out on the road doing Lyft. I was doing
Mm-hmm.
Uber. I was doing whatever I had to do to try to, keep some money coming in. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I had to
Mm-hmm.
do, man.
Wow.
That's what
Wow.
the pandemic showed me.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
it's
yeah,
crazy. Wow. Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
and another thing is it also told me to start thinking 10 steps ahead. Don't get so comfortable in the regular hustle and bustle of the day. Think
Mm-hmm.
10 steps ahead, man. In other words, do better with your savings. Do better with your investing, because life can change just like that. You literally see how the world shut
Mm-hmm.
down just like that. Everything that we thought was normal stopped just like that. We had to learn a new normal just like that. So, it just taught me a lot about thinking ahead, and not to get so caught up in just living in the moment. But you have
Mm-hmm.
to think far ahead, man, and you have to prepare for everything, man.
Yes,
Everything.
sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. That's a beautiful thing. That yeah, it definitely taught preparation, bro. If nothing else, and like um, for me, it taught like there's things that I stressed about or things that I thought I needed to have
Mm,
that I could really do without. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, and then it showed me what I can't do without. You know, I
Right.
can't do without my family. I can't do without my wife being in my corner. You know what I mean? I can't do without my kids and my family. You know that it makes a huge difference, bro. Like
Mm,
it make a huge difference. In those moments, or not even in those moments of the pandemic, but at any point in your career, did you feel like, have you ever felt like just saying, you know what, I'm gonna just figure something else out. I'm not gonna do this music thing no more. I'm not gonna
bro,
sing.
that's
What was that like?
bro, that's almost every other week. That's almost every other week. I'm like, man, I can't take this no more. I can't do this no more, man. Man,
Right.
maybe I'll just get a job doing real estate or doing something. Because see, all right, I fight against two things. All right, the first
Hmm.
dynamic I fight against is music in general is inconsistent. When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not, and you have to find ways to keep working.
Hmm.
So on those days, or well, rather during those seasons, let me say that during those
Hmm.
seasons where the phone is really ringing, I'm like, oh yeah, woo, I'm good. Yeah, I'm about to go to so and so. I'm about to travel. I'm about to do, you're feeling good. When the
Hmm.
phone ain't ringing, that's when it's like, man, what just happened? So that's the first dynamic I fight against, is the inconsistency in just music in general. And then the
Hmm.
second is I'm a gospel artist. So as you know, our
Mm.
market is a little smaller, okay?
Right.
Which means that the options are not as available.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
all the options are not very that available, and so when you miss out on opportunities, then you just like, man, what am I doing? Not to say that you're doing it just for the fame and all of
Hmm.
that, but people just want to work. You're an artist, you want to work, period. You want to
Absolutely.
work. You don't want
Absolutely.
to put out records just so you can sit at home. You don't want to put out records that nobody's listening to. So and especially when you have a family, you really start to step back and say to yourself, is this productive? Is this
Hmm.
rendering any kind of benefit for my family? You start
Hmm.
thinking like that.
Right.
So yeah, man. When I was going through those dry spells, I was just like, man, I don't know if I can keep doing this, man. And then it does something to your confidence. It starts knocking
Hmm.
at your confidence. Well, maybe I'm not good enough, man. Maybe people don't like me.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, man.
Hmm.
I've had
Let's
those moments. Yeah,
let's dig into that a little bit, like,
yeah.
because like people
I
people like
like that.
me
Wait,
and people
I
and
I
huh?
I, even, I like that. My girl Regina Showers.
What
What
she
up,
say?
Regina? She said real estate, just add it.
Just add
Have
it.
multiple streams of income.
Yes,
That's
sir.
very, very important.
Very, very important. And that's something
Yeah.
that this pandemic taught us, bro. Like, we got to have these multiple streams happening. You know what I mean? And some people I listen to, you know, on what's the joint? Well, just this one show that I listen to on Clubhouse. They talk about it all the time. They talk about creating multiple streams, but of course, focusing in on one thing first and like building the multiple streams, because the last thing you want, like, one business is enough to like have you stressed out, right?
Right.
But if you have a few businesses that's stressing you out, they are nothing but multiple trickles versus multiple streams. You know what I'm saying? So building the multiple streams in a healthy way and in a strategic and smart way that's the thing to do. You know what I mean? So that when things like this happen, like the pandemic happened, we won't be completely shook and just completely relying on one source of income. What was I getting ready to ask you? I was about to ask you, we was going to dig into that part of not being good enough. People like me and some people that, you know, can sing or can't sing or like look up to you and all that kind of stuff. Like, it sounds weird for us to hear you say, maybe I'm not good enough. Yeah. You know what I mean? From the outside, looking in, it looks weird. But what's that like for you on the inside to feel like I'm not good? Like, where does that come from? You know, outside of, you know, what you just said, like where does that come from?
Well, for me, let's go to that song Jonathan McReynolds put out called Comparison Kills. For me, social media is a big trigger. And when you're scrolling and when you're looking at everybody's wins, because I mean, that's pretty much what everybody's going to do. You're going to post your wins. You're not going to post your losses and, you know, the negative. You know, you're always going to post your wins. And the thing about social media, it's such a mental manipulating tool to where it'll make you think that the world is winning and you're not. Wow. Social media has a way of putting forth this illusion, you know, that everybody has it so perfect in their world. And so what I had to start doing, I take Instagram breaks. Sometimes I'll just deactivate my account for a week because I need to reset my brain. I don't really do that so much with Facebook because, you know, that's something else.
That's different.
But a lot of the singers and the musicians are on Instagram. And so when you're looking at so-and-so, man, they got invited to sing at this place, and so-and-so is doing a collaboration with this one, and so-and-so just, you know, did that TV show. Then you're like, well, man, why ain't nobody calling me? You know what I mean? And, you know, and if we be completely candid, that kind of stuff will open the door for envy, jealousy, bitterness, you know, so many negative things. And so the first thing that I had to start doing was taking control of my mind. You know, I had to take control of my thoughts, my mind, and I had to give myself self-talks. And, you know, not to be cocky or not to be arrogant, but I had to give myself self-talks and say, now, Gene, remember what God did for you. Okay, your journey may not be so-and-so's journey, but just remember what God did for you. Remember when you were just out on the road with so-and-so. Remember the audience that you sung in front of. You know, that's the first thing, is encourage yourself. Second thing is unplug from all of the negative influences that are eating away at your mental space. And then the other thing that I had to do was to surround myself with my tribe, my village, people that I know are not gonna kiss my butt. I'm not looking for butt kissers or bootlickers, but people that bring a certain level of positive energy. You know, who was that said that the power, I may not be quoting it right, but basically it says that the power of good company is key. And that's why it's so important that you disconnect from toxic relationships, whether it's romantic, whether it's a social friendship relationship. Disconnect from toxic influences and surround yourself with positive influences. Darwin Hobbs, what's up, man?
Darwin Hobbs, what's up?
surround yourself with positive influences. So, man, I thank God for people like you and my brother who's still on here, Pastor Cool, and of course, my wife, man.
Of course,
I think that's very important for a husband to be able to come home and find a safe place in his wife, man.
Man,
so that's what keeps me sane, bro.
Listen, since we there, how is life altered? How is a marriage? Excuse me. Altered your life, altered your thinking, altered your approach to even manhood?
It's made me more cautious of the decisions that I make. I'm not quick to just jump on a plane because somebody calls and says, "Hey, can you come and do this date in Philadelphia or wherever?" I'm always thinking, okay, are the bills paid at home? Let me check in with my wife and let her just, know that I'll be out. Because see, here are the little nuances that are missing from the house when I'm gone. Somebody's got to take the trash out. Somebody's got to walk the dog at nighttime. I don't like for my wife to walk the dog at night by herself. You see what I'm saying? So those little nuances, they matter. It just made me a lot more cautious of the decisions that I make, and everything that I do. I have to always consider my wife, my family. But the good sport that my wife is, she'll probably just be like, "Oh, baby, I'm fine. Just go on, just go on, do what you got to do."
Exactly. Yeah. I feel you on that, man, because like, especially nowadays, like you old school when it comes to like gender roles in marriage, and I get it, you know what I mean, because I'm the same way. We country boys, like we come up a certain kind of way. But how do you how can I say this? How do you feel about there not being any gender roles? Or I'll ask you this: is there anything within your marriage that's a normal gender role as far as what we came up doing that you do as well? Like we come up, the women wash the dishes and that kind of thing. Like, do you wash dishes? You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think certain things are just expected of a gender. So like me, for example, I'm a man. I would never expect my wife to take the trash out, or I would never expect for my wife to change a bulb in the house, or I would never expect for my wife to clean the garage or mess with the plumbing. Like I would just never expect my wife to do that. So it's kind of already understood that I'm going to do those things. Now, my wife, she grew up old school too, so she loves to cook and she loves to clean. However, I'll just step in, if she's tired, because there've been some days where she's come in, she's tired and, the sink is full of dishes. I'll just step in and I'll just clean the dishes, just because, you know what I mean?
Got it.
So,
got it.
So,
and it's not that they can't do it, you know what I mean? Because women are very capable of doing everything. They better than us. Period. But
you know what I'm saying? But listen, but
there's certain things that we do, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know what? I think that, and I don't mean any disrespect to the women that are on this live, and I don't think my wife would mind me saying this, but one thing I've learned is that the more I do for my wife,
come on, somebody.
The more she does for me.
Come on, somebody.
In return.
There you go. There you go. Me and my boys call it. Me and my boys here in Atlanta, we call it emptying the dishwasher.
Anytime man.
You empty the dishwasher, it's the little things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you just put the dishes up. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah. You empty the dishwasher, she gonna for the married folks, you gonna make sure you empty. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. Lord, let me quit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, that's how we talk when we just on the phone with each other.
Hey,
so
bro. Yes, sir.
We had to censor it a little bit, but not too much. We just gonna talk. But yeah, my boy Kerry on here. What up, Kerry the Dreamer? That's my brother right there.
What's up, man?
But yeah, man. Like I believe.
Hey, what up, Angie? Yo, I'm sorry.
Who's Angie?
My girl Angie. She did the emojis with the hand like that. Yeah, it's hard for me to
Oh,
see. First
what
of
up,
all,
Angie?
it's hard for me to know who people are because y'all use these alias names. If y'all would just use your government name, then I would know who you are. But you know, I saw somebody from my church. This lady from my church. Her name is Catherine, and her Instagram name is Saved by Design. Something
Oh,
I don't know, man.
oh my God, that is funny.
Yeah, man.
That is
Yeah, man.
funny. Blessed in 2022, and the
Yeah.
rest is up to you. That's the name. I don't know, but anyway, man, yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Like, and not to stay on this because this is like a touch and go kind of sticky subject. But like, when it comes to gender roles, I just believe that as long as the husband and wife have an understanding, it's all good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there are some women that are just like tomboyish. You know what I mean? And they like doing certain things. They like cutting the grass. That's just their piece. And then they
Yeah.
might be married to a guy that just like to cook all the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He makes sure the
Yeah.
house is good. But if it
Yeah.
worked for them, it's
It
fine.
works for
You
them.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If it works for them, for us, and because of our upbringing, and because of how we are and how we're wired, it's a little different. I get the peace when I'm cutting grass. My wife don't even like being in the grass because she got allergies. You know what I mean? So she don't like
Right.
standing in grass too long and like being around. And when I come in the house, I'd have to leave my shoes, the grass cutting shoes, at the in the garage when we used to live in our old house.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I believe that it's important to have like roles in the house or understandings of who's doing what. You know what I mean? Even if it's unspoken, you know what I mean? So sometimes you just kind of know what it is, but then there's some things that you just really have to talk about. Oh yeah, your hubby cooks and I garden. I get it. That's yeah. Consideration and communication is key. That's it.
Yes,
And just
sir.
understanding,
Yeah.
what works for you, man.
Yeah.
I think we went through some of these things. All right, but I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna go back to the music industry. So
Okay.
who and this is like a soft question, but
Yeah.
who in the music industry that you haven't worked with that you really want, like if
Yeah.
this person called you and it was like, yo, I need you on my session, we having a writing session, come write with me and perform with me or whatever, like who would
Yeah.
that be?
Robert Glasper, one.
Nice.
I've never, it's funny. I don't really talk to him very often.
Mm-hmm.
But when we've been at events together, and
Mm-hmm.
he'll always say, "Yeah, man, we're gonna work together. We're gonna work together."
Mm-hmm.
But and I'm praying that'll happen soon because
Mm-hmm.
I really want to work with Glasper, man. I mean, that's just a vibe. That's a
But
vibe.
you've already toured with them, but you haven't recorded with them.
No, I actually toured with Chris Dave. Matter of fact, man, my bad. I didn't even mention that. Chris
Oh,
Dave and the Drumheads. I toured with Chris
Drumheads.
Dave and the
That's right.
Drumheads. Yeah,
Okay,
and
that's who it was. I thought it was Glass for some reason. Okay.
yeah. So Chris and I are friends, and I would actually like to work with Chris in the studio. We've done live gigs. I want to work with Chris in the
Okay.
studio. I want to work with Glasper in the studio. I love to work with Snarky Puppy. I would actually love to work with Dolly Parton.
Nice.
I've always liked Dolly Parton, and if Kanye West decides to do another gospel record, I would love to work with Kanye as well. Yeah.
That would be, all of those would be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it, man, like anybody that's on here, I'm sure everybody that's on here know Gene Moore. I hope they do. But if you don't, like, you will understand why he's saying what he's saying. And if you don't understand why he's saying what he's saying, just follow him and listen, because the versatility, man, I'm gonna just tell you this, like, your versatility is crazy. You know what I mean? Because you can go from squalling and like, churchy singing to like just laying back and just, you know what I mean? And you're able to do certain things vocally and dynamically. So all those people that you named made perfect sense. You know what I mean? To go from Glasper to Dolly Parton, you know what I mean? And be able to execute, I can see it clear as day. But yeah, man, like, so what would you say to the 17-year-old young kid that comes up to you and say, you know, I want to sing. How did you do this? I want to be just like you, or I want to be on stages just like you. What do I have to do? Can you mentor me? Can you, all that kind of stuff. What do you say to that kid? Like, what's the first thing that will come out of your mouth to that kid?
I feel like that's a tough question because I feel like those are questions that are relative to the individual, because what may have worked for me may not work for somebody else. Like somebody else may have the hustle mentality. What up, Anasa?
Nasa, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I just saw her. That's why I smiled so big just now.
Yeah.
Nasa.
I've heard people say, well, hustle, man, and make sure you get in front of this person, and make sure when you at this event, you get so-and-so's phone number and send them your demo and da-da-da-da. Well, that wasn't my path, man. Honestly, I was just minding my business. Now, I will say this. The people that asked me to go on the road with them asked me because they were inspired from seeing me just be myself. I was never, I don't say this to sound arrogant or anything like this, but I never sent Kirk Franklin a demo tape. I never, reached out to his management and said, hey, what about me? I never did that. I never busted any doors down to get India Ari to make me go out with her, on stage with her. Like, these people asked me because, number one, they observed my character. And number two, they just saw me being who I was. So I will say that to the young kid, whenever you're asked to sing, I don't care if it's in front of an audience of 2 or 2,000, give it your all, because you never know who's in that audience. Even if it's just 2 people, one of those 2 people could be connected to, I'm just, speaking hypothetically, could be connected to Taylor Swift or Clive Davis, or you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah.
Character is key. That's
Character is key. And another thing that I will say, because that just triggered something, character is definitely key. Young people have to understand that social media is the new resume now. A lot of artists will go to your social media. They watch your interactions. They watch how you talk. They watch how you interact. I've literally been in rooms where I've heard artists say that person can sing, but they ignorant. They act a fool on social media, and I don't want that energy in my camp. I've seen that. I've heard that with my own ears. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's definitely what I would say to the young person is your character, man. Don't get on social media acting a fool. Now, I mean, of course, we all have a sense of humor. If you want to act up, have your tribe to do that with, and don't always, don't always be on everybody's group chats, because you can't trust that either. But but definitely watch your character and just give the best that you can give, and then that's it, man. Yeah.
So all right, so they get the gig, right?
Yeah.
They land their first tour, and they come to you, yo, I'm on tour. I got my first tour, and yeah, we leaving out in like 2 weeks. We got rehearsal next week, and we're leaving out the week after that. And I'm just so excited. Like, this is my very first tour. I've never been on a tour bus before in my life. I never slept on a tour bus.
Yeah.
What would you tell them in that moment? As far as you talked about character.
Yeah.
But what would you explain to them in that moment? Like, what would be the first thing that come out of your mouth when they say, I got my first tour, I'm getting ready to leave?
Okay. The first thing that I would ask them is, what's the business like? It's unfortunate that you have certain artists, I ain't naming nobody, but you have certain artists that will make you do a month's worth of work and will only pay you $500.
Yep.
Okay. So the first thing that I would say is, what is the pay scale like? What's the business like? Because you don't want anyone taking advantage of you. Tour life is hard. It's fun, but it's also hard. It's very intense. Okay. You are giving your body, your voice, your energy, your intellectual property, and you're leaving your family. So, make sure that the business is right. The second thing that I will say is, when you're on tour, be professional. Be on time. I don't know if Maya the Fire and Julius are still on here, but one thing that we can honestly say is that if India Arie sound check is at 1:30, we're gonna be there at 1:15. I don't think
Absolutely.
anybody ever came to sound check late. You know,
No.
and
No.
you know, be professional. Be downstairs at lobby call on time. Be at sound check on time. Learn your music. If they're giving you, because that's another thing, you have a lot of music to learn in a short period of time. You may only have about 2 weeks to learn about 20 songs. Yo,
yeah, that's real, bro.
That's real. You may only have
you gotta do it.
You gotta do it. You may only have about 2 weeks to learn 20 or 30 songs. You gotta do it, man. You gotta show up ready. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say to the young person.
Yeah, man. That's those great pointers, man. Like, and the thing is, man, and I know one of the big mistakes I made when I first started touring. I was 16, but bro, that money, bro, it burned a hole in my pocket, bro.
Yeah,
and the thing is, like, they gotta learn. Like, listen, that's not forever, bro.
Right.
Like, you getting this weekly check that's going in real good, Pierre. What up, Pierre?
I'm ready. That's the job. How you prepare is as important as what you do. That's right, or not?
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. That's the job. How you prepare is important as important as what you do on stage. That's the gig is actually off stage.
Yeah. That's
the gig. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize as young musicians, and that's what I was about to say. As far as me burning a hole in my pocket and spending my money coming back off tour broke, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, like, how you prepare off stage is the gig. It's like people don't understand that whatever gig you're on, you're being watched.
Yeah.
Even if it's unintentional, like, you're a family, you're out on the road, you're spending a month, 2 months, 3 months, years for some people out on the road with these people. So your character and who you are has to be solid, and it can't be false. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna get figured out at some point if you're faking it.
So here's a true story, and again, I'm not naming any names, but I was out on the gig, and one of the band members decided to start talking about the artist.
Bad news.
I didn't say nothing, but somebody else said something, and it got back to the artist. And needless to say,
all of y'all was talking about.
Oh, no. Needless to say, that person never came back. So, you know, the point, to your point, you're always being watched. You're always being observed. So don't just turn it on when you're on stage, man. You have to live this thing, man. Live it, man. The
gig is off the stage. You're only on stage for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
But the other 24 hours or whatever, or the other 24 hours, I just put a whole 26 hours in a day. But the other 22 hours, bro, that's the gig. What you're doing off the stage, when you're on the bus, are you lining your shoes up on the side of the joint? Like, are you just throwing your bag in you know what I mean? Like, all these little things that shows how considerate or inconsiderate you are as a person, and that may be your last tour, at least with that artist. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, like, I mean, we're getting ready to probably gonna get cut off in a second. If you want to come back, we can come back and we can dig in some more. If you got something you need to do, we can say bye. You know what I mean? It's up to you, bro.
Yeah, you know what we can do, man? We can schedule a part 2, because this was really good, and we didn't even get to dive into everything. Yeah, I'm getting ready to jump into something in the next hour, but let's schedule a part 2.
That's what we're gonna do.
You know what? You know, Julius. I don't know. Jay Smooth may or may not want to, but get Jay Smooth, get Maya the Fire. You know, we can do like 4 parts.
Yeah, we can do 4 parts. Yeah,
we can. Yeah.
That would be super dope, man. But
yeah,
we gonna make that happen. But man, once again, bro, thank you so much for coming on here and taking out some time to be on here. And man, everybody, go follow Gene Moore. Listen to his music. He got some special stuff coming up. I can't wait. I feel honored to work with you even on that side of the game. And it's special, man, to be able to do other things within the music industry. And I thank you for trusting me enough to go with you on that journey. But love you, Anasa, love you.
Oh yeah,
and Julius definitely need to be in this conversation.
Absolutely.
But
love you, Nas.
bro.
Yeah.
They telling me
I love you. Yeah, I love you too, man. All right.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
say goodbye, man, so we don't get cut off.
Yeah, they telling me I got a minute and 47 seconds. But hold it down, bro. Love you so much, man. And thank you again. All right.
All good.
Good night, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Moments with me, Charles LaMont. I hope you were encouraged. I hope you were inspired. And I hope you got something from this episode. And I encourage you to subscribe to this channel because I'm going to have some great guests on here that's going to be giving out great information. So until next time, be safe, be free, but most of all, live in love. Take care and God.